Hey there, friends and neighbors. My name is Haley Overseth. Writer, artist, all-around neurodivergent creative. In 2020, I started writing a series of short stories called The Adventures of Abernathy Franklin. Quantum Traveler can go anywhere in time and space.
Let's portal in.
Has infinite versions of herself. You can check it out on my YouTube channel. I began performing those short stories as a fictional podcast. That fictional podcast then turned into interview podcasts that I started to do, which turned into co-hosting with my brother, and then co-hosting with a few other friends. And eventually, Frankie's Podcast Network was born, which then became Frankieverse Media, which is kind of where I am now in my time-space pie slice. After meeting a man online from Australia and deciding to just quit my life and go to Europe to meet him in person, I know, sounds crazy. Lots of details on that on my YouTube channel as well. But we've landed in Bavaria, in a tiny little German town called Unfinden, where we're staying at the Creative House. Creative House Unfinden is run by Thomas and Tabita, two very unique, very creative, very cool human beings. During our stay, Tabita was running an art exhibit, a vernissage, at a local nearby village, Kernisberg. In this next documentary piece, I'm able to spend some time getting to know Tabita and a little bit more about her story and her creative expressions. So thanks for joining me on this new exploration of this next iteration of my creative and explorative adventures, and meet Tabita.
Hello, come in.
Welcome to my world of colors, intuition, soul whispers, and the sheer endless possibilities of expressing our human being. My name is Silvia Tabita Hahn, and I'm also called a human design reflector. I'm a mother. I've been working as a healer. I've been, studying the human beingness for so many years now. And in the paintings, I have processed a lot of topics and things I had to digest. And I hope you also find some inspiration in this video and a deeper understanding of your own journey. Enjoy!
Yeah, we are in a very special place in Königsberg. This place was an old brewery once, and now the city uses this place to help artists to show their art, connect with people. And so I'm so lucky to be in this room for 1 month. Just to share about the art, but more about what's behind it. And this is a journey, how to reconnect with the own soul, listen to the language of the soul, but also travel through various expressions of the soul and also of the life's journey. And I'm here presenting myself as an artist. It's a part of letting go of other identities, of the identity to be a healer, because I have been called to do a lot of healing work in the past. And it was an intense journey. I loved it. And it also challenged me to my core. And now I feel it's like also time to let go of that. Currently, I'm also in the process of letting go of being a full-time mom. So, my sons have grown a lot. They're very tall. And one already moved out, and the other one probably moves out within the next 1 or 2 years. And I feel so deeply what it means to let go of something I have been attached to for such a long time and embrace the change. And yeah, this is why I felt so called to do this exhibition. Yeah, of course, it's nice to show my art, but much more I seek to connect with people and encourage them to follow the expressions of their own being, even though it's a challenge, because being the true self, really embodying it, means to have a good relationship with your nervous system and having a place where it's safe to express yourself, to get used to it, and also to train the nervous system. It's safe to be me. And over the last years, I worked through so much. So I had studied a lot of mysticism, like Tantra, to find out how the divine masculine and the divine feminine connect, but also what it means to heal from abuse, misunderstandings, feeling safe within their own skin. And then I have explored more in shamanism. So for a time I had a deep dive into shamanism and learned how to communicate with other realms, because very early as an empath I could feel so much what other people couldn't, but they never wanted to hear about it. So I needed to find out how to deal with all the information I was getting. So shamanism helped me really to tap into these energies and learn more about it. So that was a very big part of my journey and still is. So now I've moved through body work, divine feminine, masculine. I have gone to shamanism, learning how to talk to entities and other awarenesses. And yeah, now I felt like what comes, or how can I communicate when I do not touch bodies, when I do not massage, when I don't do any energetic work? Is there any other way of expressing what I feel? Is there more to it? Just, yeah, to approach it always from a different angle. And the painting was also helping me to process all what was coming to me and through me. So sometimes it was just like a chaos of colors, and I was like, what shall I do with it? So I started painting just to help me to trust the process and to calm my nervous system down, like, okay, how to switch from survival mode into I'm relaxed and I trust myself and my body is safe now. So with painting, I basically could do something which was not about the doing, rather than just feeling and finding an expression, and not necessarily like a useful one. So before I was trained so much, when you do shamanism, when you do like tantric healing work, you always have like a goal or an aim. Like you also strive for a result in a way. Especially in the past tense, when I was so attached to the outcome. And I took on a lot because, yeah, I really wanted to help these people. And after years, I realized that I was not free in my giving, because I became so attached to certain results. And starting to paint was like, yeah, either I paint for a result, which I already tried a lot, and I got so disappointed on it when I was like, oh, I paint a beautiful woman. It never happened. And so I went through all the emotions, anger, disappointment, frustration. Also, so painting was like a teacher for me to not strive for an outcome, but just express what I feel and what's going on inside of me, and just adding layer, another layer. Doesn't like it. Just vanishes all behind a new layer of color. And still, it's there. So, yeah, that helped me a lot to let go of results. That was why painting basically healed me in a way all the other efforts couldn't.
Well, there's people involved in the other ones, right? And having other people in the mix can sort of give you you might have an expectation, but then they have an expectation. There's more than just you in the outcome. What we're thinking, right?
Oh,
and
yes.
So when you're just painting, it's only you and it's only the story or the feeling you're receiving, right? It's a bit more personal and intimate. You don't have another human mind kind of interrupting, right?
Yes, that's right.
So can you maybe talk about just a little bit, what is the experience you have, right, when you are painting, when you are feeling that, to maybe try to, because I think one of the things that you are maybe shifting into that I can kind of sense is not healing and helping by hands-on with people, but by example.
Yeah.
To be the thing,
Yeah.
and to show people what you can do or be. So when you are engaged with the painting, what are those sensations, and what's that like for your mind, for your body, for your consciousness and your spirit? Like what are you experiencing?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. When I started to use colors for feeling myself more, but also transforming something, it just came from the idea how to influence or change a certain environment. So I just give you an example. 7 or nearly 8 years ago, our family moved into a very ugly and sad house, to be honest. And this was big, so I could see like a lot of the visions I had for years and dreams, like there is space to do this, but I also felt there was like a sadness in the house, a heaviness, because it had been a place where disabled people lived and basically waited until they die. And yes, they tried to give them a nice time, but still, yes, there was a lot of sadness in the house. And it was all gray. It was all just built for disabled people. So it was only like functional, but it totally lacked the heart or the soul in it. So I guess this house was like, or the entity or the soul of the house was sensing my capability to bring the dead back to blossom. Well, it still has to have some potential in it. And when we moved in, I just painted day and night all the rooms. So what happened when I was painting? I just entered the room. I moved through the room for days, and I was like picking up the energies. I cleansed it with all my shamanic rituals. And then later on, there was something like persistent in the room, what could not be changed by energetic work. So I thought, what about some physical changes? And then I started painting all the walls while really allowing all the energy to flood my system. And it was like, this feels like heavy or stiff or whatsoever. So while I was painting and making big movements with my arms, and I used both hands for painting to have more like the left, right side really communicating. And while I was doing it, I just opened my heart for transformation, like let the liveliness come in, let the joy come in. And if there was something like that needed to be grieved out, I was suddenly painting like clouds that were crying. And while I was painting crying clouds, I started to cry and like process the energy of the place. And I could transform it by it. And it was amazing for me to discover this ability. So I started painting all the rooms and communicating to the room, and like also when I was painting, like sadness came to my awareness and it was expressed. So sometimes it had to stay for 1 or 2 years. We had the crying walls. And then just 2 years later it was like, it's done. We're done crying in this part of the house. And then I started painting it again and remodeling it. And so I discovered that just painting along, like processing it, and while I paint, it just comes to my awareness and says, hello, that's me. And I found out that this is also fun to work like that. So I was wondering if I start using this process for people who are interested to connect more to their own soul, to their essence. And then I started communicating with them. What is it that you want or need or invite into your life? And then I started painting, and sometimes symbols came or bodies appeared, and receiving all the symbols and everything, and then just letting it express and not having my brain coming in the way. It's like, it has to be painted like this or like this. More like, okay, how does it feel? When I breathe through it and it comes up, so how would it express, even if the form is different to the symbol I got in my head? So I had to really open up more to this intuitive communication and understand that the soul has its own ways. And then, for example, there is one shamanic painting when the man was working with this picture, like sitting in front of the picture when I had finished it, and just meditating on it and really opening up, like in the quiet chamber where nobody could see him, but he could still communicate with a portal, because paintings are just portals of expression. And he didn't need to share it with me. He could just really feel it in this inner dialogue. And so I realized with these paintings, the people are enabled to talk to their soul essence, and they don't need me. So in a way, I'm like a medium, like gathering all the information, letting it flow on the picture, and then, or painting, and then they just open up to receive. And maybe you know that for yourself. Sometimes you look at something and then something happens in your system. You have like new experiences, and then you think like, oh, something is different. And you look at the same thing again and you suddenly see something completely different. And so with the soul paintings, I really like that even over a time, you still discover new impulses and they're still talking with you. So it's like, when I did the one-to-one work with like massage and body work and reflector mentoring, like just reflecting back everything to the person, it really needed my presence all the time. And I was just curious if I could create something that does not need my permanent presence, but the moment when I create it, I'm fully present with everything that is, with the fun and the joy side, but also with the sadness, the anger, everything. So when you connect with the painting, you have like the portfolio of allowance to express all your inner feelings and emotions and find creative ways that nurture yourself to, even anger. I mean, anger is such a disliked emotion, let's put it this way, and we have a lot of conditioning around it. But I realized if I suppress the anger, it just makes my organs sick and it's not good for me. So I have a specific painting that helped me to process anger into strength. And this is the tiger picture. So I just painted that recently, and that it's so much joy when you can really allow all the emotions to express. And painting is one thing, and while I paint, I just dance, I sing, I make sounds, I play the drum. So whatever is needed to connect, I just love doing that. So and there's a lot of freedom in it. So there's no pressure, no time scales. It just opens a portal to eternity. I enjoy that.
Portals to eternity sound really lovely. I think that's great. Can you maybe talk just a little bit, because you talked about the house and the rooms, and so you do have Creative House. Can you maybe talk a little bit about the house, how it became more of something where you wanted to support creativity to blossom on its own?
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit how your own experience in art and self-expression, was that something that had to do with why you wanted to do that? Was it also a space to help you? Maybe talk a little bit about the house and why you do what you do with it.
Yeah, thanks for the question. Yeah, so our Kreativhaus mission was born from a lot of visions I had during my childhood and my whole journey as an adult. So when I was a very young girl and I grew up in a family, I was the oldest of 5 kids. And I was tuned into the needs of everyone. That was in the beginning I thought every person is like that. It took me ages to understand, no, it's not like that. And I saw myself in the middle of a big house, which was bigger than you normally would choose for a family. So I saw myself standing in the middle and having a lot of people passing by, and I was connected to every one of these people in a special but also different way. And it was like I knew what these people need and what they want and what their goals are. And I was like the center of this wisdom, knowing. And it was like, that's a strange vision. I think it was very strong when I was 15 or something like that. And it was like, what's that? Where is that coming from? And then I mostly forgot about everything. And I just was in survival mode until I got nearly 30. And then I had settled down with a job in a company, semiconductor industry. So it was not talking to my soul at all. But it just paid my life. And yeah, at 30, I always knew at 30 something would happen. At this time, I didn't know human design, so I was not aware that as a 6th line, obviously with 30 something would change. But it was a surprise. Really something changed. I got pregnant, I married, and had my first son. And then the journey really started. He initiated me in something greater, and he never stopped every single day. And that was great because as an empath, I always struggled to wish something good for myself or really strive for my own well-being. I just had no matrix how to do that. I didn't even have any idea that this would be good for me. But with them, with the 2 boys, I really had to learn to become a lioness and to protect my kids. And that was good because I could finally feel how it felt to have this protection energy in my awareness. And I dived so deep into so many alternative lifestyles and seeking how to live a healthier life, how to deliver my kids at home. I did the breastfeeding. I just did everything most of the people considered weird, and I considered them as the most natural thing to do. So I carried them around, and yeah, they were just close all the time, and I loved that. And through this time, there grew a deeper longing to also help other people to connect more to their souls, to their nature. And I was experiencing so many interesting phenomena. Like when I did my first chakra meditation, I had immediately results around me, something shifting and happening. And I was like, woo, I just did it once. What's going on here? So I just started exploring this energetic world renewed, which I had left basically after my childhood in order just, to fit in. So this deep wish that a lot of people would have the opportunity to tap into their souls, their being, like their soul mission, something that is really fulfilling deeply from within. And I was looking, how could I bring this knowledge to others? And they were skeptical and they thought I'm crazy. And it was like nobody at the time, or only a very small group of people, just allowed themselves to think outside the 9-to-5 boxes. And so this wish to help other people connect to this deeper knowing inside, I just wanted everybody to know. When I experienced healing ceremonies, when I had my first tantra massage and I could feel so much trauma stuff was just leaving my body, I was like, oh my gosh, every mom, everyone should have it. And so I studied it for years. So when others went for 1 year education, I went for 2. So I really wanted to go deeper into it. And then after a while, when where we had lived couldn't deal with our energies anymore, we had to go. So the energies became just too big and everyone around was struggling and they didn't want the change. So we moved. And we ended up in this Kreativhaus where it is big, we had a little community there to start with, like people who seek other ways of living and trying out how to do permaculture and doing music together, being creative, inspiring each other. And we did a lot of experimenting on that one. And we had women's circles doing yoni steaming there and other womb healing rounds or groups or sessions. And we opened the house again and again to other people to come in. So it's not like that we have space for 20 people or so. We have just 2, 4 people, sometimes 6 people coming over, staying in the Airbnb rooms. And sometimes we just have like, shamanic sessions or painting sessions, or Thomas is a musician, so he does like band camps for families who want to co-create music. And with all the healing we facilitated, I just found the most fun you find in when you go into the creator mode. That was the moment when this big vision really spoke to me and said, yes, you have connected with this place, with Earth, with the universe, to receive the creators, the people who are really dedicating the whole life to how to embody a divine sovereign being and how to bring my gifts into the world to serve others. But not from a place of, I give you the help I never received, rather from the place of, I have allowed myself to be the sovereign being, and I'm the example. And if you come here, you might find some inspiration. So it's not more like a rigid course or seminar. I did a lot of seminars in the past, but I felt like there was always like a missing link. You go to a seminar and you come back, it's like, yeah. But then when you're at home, it's like, So like, why is it not working? And integrating this, and I also work with human design just to help people to see, that's me. That's not wrong. This is my being. This is my software. This is how I came into the world, and now I learn how to use it properly. And to understand that everyone is so different, that one truth might not be the truth for the other one. And having this place at the Reaktivhaus where we really meet and open up and just be with each other and then see how can we co-create. So sometimes, we have digital nomads that are traveling and working also online, and a lot of energetic work you can do online, which is it's a good thing. And I felt called, and I still feel called to have also international connections. So I have friends in America, or I don't call them friends. For me, they're cosmic buddies. So we're all on the same journey. And especially having people from America over in Germany, I feel this is so deep, just being with each other and just sharing like the best we have creates so much peace and momentum, while other forces still strive to keep us like in the old paradigm, stuck in the old paradigm. And so being the example, saying, I don't know what you are doing, but we are creating peace and we are co-creating and we are inspiring each other and really enjoying to, enjoy the gifts of everyone together really potentiates the room. And this is it makes me just so happy to see we have created this place. People can come here and sometimes even stay for months when they go through a big shift. So I call myself also a death doula, a spiritual death doula, which is just holding space for people to connect deeper to their own being, just reflecting back, this is how I perceive you. Yes, that's you. With the dark sides, with the bright sides. And then diving deeper into that's me and letting go of the identification or the programming and conditioning, and really taking the time to feel that's me. It's like a rebirthing, but also has a bit of dying process in it, which is not so pleasant sometimes, or most of the time, always, to be honest. But then when you come back into your body's awareness, there is so much more room after that, and you feel just more relaxed to naturally express yourself. So yeah, it's a bit of dying to give space to more of the true you. And this is what's happening in the Kreativhaus. So if you're ready for a deep dive, or just interested in co-creating like the new, and it's a good place to come. Yeah, there is a big thing going on in my heart, which is a dream of mine. So when I think about creating a new world of trust and love, and where you are safe to be yourself, I find it such a pleasure to accompany the youngsters, the kids at all stages to be themselves. And last year I had the great honor to be in the middle of such a doing with girls and boys from the 11th class of the Waldorfschule in Haßfurt. And they had prepared a stage view like a musical, or they were all playing music, and being with them when they were preparing for being on stage with their favorite songs, and really seeing how they, some of them struggled. Oh, I'm too shy, I can't do this. And so we from the Kreativhaus, we supported them. Thomas helped them with bass and drums, just to be in time and to really align the body with the rhythm, which was so helpful. And you could see how they were making progress within weeks. Some had even not played an instrument before. And after the preparation of this project, they were able to have the confidence to go on stage, even though they just freshly learned it. So that showed me so much about this courage these young people have when they have the right support. And so I had the great honor to build the stage, how do you say, what's standing on stage to give the picture of a scenery. So I was painting with them, and I spent a lot of time with them also, seeing what they need to be calm and confident and connected with themselves. So we did a lot of meditation together and expression, also expressing emotions, even when you feel shy, just to do it as a group, to feel the confidence. Yeah, just to let it all out, not to hold back. So going through this process with them, they really grew so close to my heart that I felt I want to support them even more in their artistic and creative expressions. And the very good thing is, the this year a very good opportunity arises to do so. So in May next year, I think it's May, they will go to Florence. The whole class will go there and they will work with stones and just building something what helps them to reconnect and trust the inner process. So what's coming from the inside, that this can go outside, that this can be shown, that you can touch it, that you can feel it. So this year they will go there. But because it's a private initiative, they have to pay for themselves. And so we have to raise about 20,000 euros for all of them to go there. So suddenly I had the idea that a part of the paintings I sell will just go straight to their fund, just, yeah, to have the possibility to do it. And we are also happy that they are willing to give a little concert here. I said to them, hey, last year you touched all the hearts with your music. What about coming to the art gallery and doing like a little charity concert for your own future, for your own creativity to be explored more? So if you feel called to support them directly or through buying a painting, it's such an honor to help these kids to guard their souls, to bring the light everywhere. And I think that is one of the biggest investments we can make into our future to enable the youngsters to not bend to programming, but really be a creative, sovereign soul on this planet. Yeah, the fairies playing, yeah.
We go here, and I think you'll be able to see me. Yeah. The giantess and the pixie are making a documentary. Hi again, Frankieverse fam. Thanks so much for joining me, Haley Overseth, on this latest part of my adventures that have become a bit more like my fictional stories than I ever anticipated life would be. I hope you enjoyed meeting Tabita. Do check out my channel to see more of the things that we've created at Creative House with our friend Thomas, who was so kind as to edit all of this material. Thank you very much, Thomas. Thomas is also a musician. Check out Creative House Unfinden on TikTok and you can catch his lives where he plays the sitar. It's pretty cool. Thanks so much to Tabita for sharing her creative expressions and art with us and for spending some time doing that interview. Thank you to Thomas and Tabita for sharing their space and a very unique experience at Creative House in Unfinden. And thanks so much to you, my audience, for being curious enough to stop in. If you'd like to see some more content, do check out my channel. And if you want more information on that love story of that man from Australia that I met in Europe, hey, guess what? Also on my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot for joining us, guys. And thanks again to Thomas and Tabita. Stay tuned to the Frankieverse for more adventures.
Whatever, it's fine.